Welcome to a new episode. Today we are going to learn how to do load testing to our GraphQL server. Today we are going to use a package that it's called Easy GraphQL LT. It uses artillery IO under the hood, and the way to use this package to do load testing to our GraphQL server is creating a JSON file with some configuration that we got here, and run npx Easy GraphQL LT and the JSON file. So first, let's see the servers that we are going to use today, and then we can go back to the configuration. So we are going to have two servers, both with the same schema. One only query that it's going to be post. It will receive a argument that it's going to be a ID, and we want the ID 1. We can get the ID, the title, the description, the user that created that post, the username, the name, and the comments that are inside that post. So for the comments, we can get the ID, the comment, and the user that created that comment. And for that comment, we only want the username. So let's run it. So we got multiple comments. There are 20 comments. And here we are running this query in the server without dataloaders. So let's run it on the one with dataloaders. It's working as well. It has the same information. We have there 20 comments. So let's do load testing to these servers. So first, let's create a folder that it's going to be with dataloaders. And let's create another one that it's going to be without dataloaders. Then inside both folders, we want to create a file that it's going to be lt.json, and where we are going to have the configuration. Let's create first the one with dataloaders, and then we can copy this file and update some fields for without dataloaders. So let's go back to the documentation. Here we can see all the possible configuration that we can use. So let's see. The first one, it's going to be config. And there we are going to set the URL. We will come back in a second for the URL. The name of the test that we are going to do. So let's call this with dataloaders. Selected queries will let us select the specific queries from our schema. So if we have multiple queries, we can choose which one we want to run with load testing, but in this case, we doesn't want to use that. The query file will create a file with the queries used for load testing. With mutations, we are not gonna add today that field because we doesn't have mutations. The duration and arrival rate. Let's say that the duration it's gonna be 10 and the arrival rate it's gonna be 40. We can change those values for the ones that we think are gonna be a good fit for our load testing. With output, we'll create a file that if we use artillery to run that file, it will show a HTML output, and it can help us to read the results, but we don't want to add that now. And the headers, we doesn't have any header now, so let's leave it like that. Also, we should add the arguments, so let's add args. And as you can see here, we got the post, and the post received one argument ID that it's going to be 1. So we put here post, that it's the query, the name of the argument that it's going to be ID, and the value. So this will be our configuration file. Let's copy this to without dataloaders, and then we update the missing fields. So let's change here the name to without. So right now we have the URL without dataloaders. Let's copy this here, and let's do the same for the one with dataloaders. Okay, so now we are ready to do load testing to our server. So let's start first with the one without data loaders. For here, so npx easy GraphQL lt and the JSON file. So now it's running, it's preparing the load testing for the without data loaders. That's the name that we set there. So as you can see here, it creates one file that it's gonna be without data loaders, and what it has is all the queries used for the load testing. So as you can see, all those queries use the same ID, that it's gonna be one, and it creates different queries. So the first one, it's gonna be just the ID, then the ID and the title, and then we can see that at the end it requests the comments, and for the user all those fields, and these will be the queries used for the load testing. So let's wait for the result so we can see it. Okay, so now we got the results. Let's copy these results in a file, and then we can compare with the one with data loaders, and we can read these results. So let's clean the terminal. Let's go back to the folder with data loaders. So let's select this one, and let's run the load testing there. So npx easy GraphQL lt and the JSON file. It's preparing the load testing for the server with data loaders, as we can see here. It created as well a file with the queries used. As you can see, this file is the same as the one that we already saw. So it's using the ID one and the same queries. So let's wait for the results so we can compare them. Okay, so now we got the result. As you can see, it was much faster than the one without data loader. So let's copy the result here and let's compare that. So before reading the results, let's go back to artillery that will help us to interpret those results. So here at the bottom we can see what does the result means. So scenarios launch is the number of virtual users created in the preceding 10 seconds or in total. Scenarios complete is the number of virtual users that complete their scenario in the preceding 10 seconds or in the whole test. Request completed is the number of HTTP requests and responses of or WebSocket message sent. RPS sent is the average number of requests per second completed in preceding 10 seconds or tog out the test. Request latency is in milliseconds, and P95 and P99 values are the 95 and 99% values. That what it means is that the P99, what it means is that per every 100 requests, 99 took 500 milliseconds, and the codes were the responses, the HTTP responses that we got. So let's see the results again, and let's compare the P95 and P99. So as you can see, for the one without data loaders, the P95 was 58,000, and for the one with data loaders it was 12,000. Also the P99 was 73,000 for the one without data loaders, and for the one with data loaders it was 13,000. So as you can see, the difference is so big. That's the importance of using data loaders in our GraphQL server. It will help us and the user and the server to be fast. It will help. Also, it will help to have a good experience when there are multiple users concurrently on the website. So as you can see, it's important to use them. So if you can, try to add them to your GraphQL server, and also try to do some load testing to your GraphQL server. That way you can see how your server is working, if it's working fine, or if you can improve something else there. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed it, like it, and write in the comments if you want to see more videos or different things. So that's it. Thanks.